Em đi còn cái đường con dán này không à? Ừ, con dán là đời vừa dài con còn con gặp nó dài được phải vừa đấy nghỉ con dán là dài. Ô, muốn được. Ừ, chia nhau mình nói thôi, cũng muốn thì là mình muốn mà. Hả? Cái nào tính từ cái mình thật kỳ được. Hả? Tầm 3 chị em ở trong cái chính. Cái mềm phải thì nó mềm. Lửa chắc là được. Này, điên đau này. Điên đau, chọn đau, cho pha lên. Tức xó học phát ẩm sửa, chế độ đậu không? Rồi nhà em đi một buổi đâu? Rồi, mong đến là nó khó người ẩm tích dưỡng hay, cho nó phải đi học ơi. Tôi đi học thì không chế. 30 年trên để trở thành một người này xuất sắc. Đấy là đấy tôi kiểm tra. Nếu tá tôi đi kiểm tra. Chắc nhé. Tôi nhìn bao giờ. Nó không ra được chỉ được cực kỳ dạ được không? Cô Thủy. Dạ, dạ. Thì cô lại đóng học Để chè với một cái lỗ vì nó trên cùng vậy này. Có em đi xoay em đi. Xoay cho mở đã là. Ta đây là bằng lại mà, đứa thì không hết. Cao mở nhiều thì cao ra là bên nhau thì chỉ có thắng không đến đúng không? Chỉ phải là áp thì ta bàn được rồi. Em cầm lên đó còn lại mà. Nhưng mà em đẩy lên cầm nữa để ta chen cắm của đó. Em thích cầm nữa. Thích cầm là cầm. Mình thích nhạc đấy. Thế này, nếu mà nhà ít người thì nên kèm thêm, bởi vì nhà nhiều người thì đôi khi xả liên tục là vẫn cắn, xả liên tục thành ra không kịp vẫn cắn. Nhưng mà nhà ít người thì nên nhà phải chỉnh là che nó một lỗ trên tung ấy, đỡ xanh ấy. Mình thì sẽ chặt chặt. Đây em phải chinh la, em mà để ra hỏi tình người cứ phải chinh la. Em thì thích xanh hơn, em thích người con rồi. Em biết là anh em hỏi chứ em không có đấy. Bạn hãy lên này mà đơn giản không thể mãi không bằng cả cậu cáo thì bằng cả bữa nữa thật là nước vô rồi người bị bật chặt lại xong bắt đầu mình chỉ trừ chắc hai cái lỗi trên cô thôi là thật ra thì nó đã đủ sạch rồi phải sạch thử luôn lấy con lương con sạch rồi con chết thử thôi trời không bạn nữa không mình ăn cái gì nữa chứ cái đó là để học cái ấn nữa là một cháu học thứ tư một cháu học thứ sáu thứ tư là gì không anh có học thứ tư anh học thứ sáu một thì nó thứ gì buổi không có được đấy em có làm gì chứ từ giờ em đi nha ngoài đi lại chứ đi học một đứa như vậy mới chia lắm không đi con ăn đấy nhá thành từ đó đi mở đến đây mở máy rồi cái nhau về nó cái học tại chúng thảo nó đi cả lời bây giờ để không biết lắm cả mà thì đặc biệt không biết cho cái hai buổi đâu hai buổi học được nhiều em mới học cái con nói đây nay con một được rồi có lẽ là mình đứa về đến các cô nên sao mình trở lại đi học bay thì là học cả người cả với chị năm không học là tao đi kiểm tra vé chưa nhỉ cái lớp bên đây cái lớp của ta là mẹ bắt nói cái ta này nó hỏi phải cái nó ghé chỗ này người ta hỏi cái viên xem là về cái hỏi đó không có gì rồi đó không nghe chứ không nghe nó nói mà tao học cái đi cô tao phải học cái cô không tao học cái này vì là 16 học thì nó nói là phải được cái kia không hiểu nhưng mà cái như thể luyện chứ đừng nói xuyên lý thuyết như tao thì người ta xử lý nhưng cô sao học cái này người ta nói này ta có cái cách không tao có cái đó để mà sư thì ta thành người
Hello, good afternoon. Hi. How are you today? Okay. I'm also good. That's good to hear. It seems like we have a lot of time to be together, right? Did you know that I'm your teacher? I'm the I'm the replacement of your teacher Irene. Did you know that? Okay, so I hope I can input many learnings to you, and I can I be able uh, to give your to give what you want. So let's help each other, okay? Okay, so let's ask first, check your attendance. Rosie. Okay, hello Rosie, how are you? Okay, that's good. How about Moon?
yes me
Hi Moon. I did not recognize you because last time you let your hair down, but today you That's why I'm asking, where is Moon? Okay, Anna.
Say late.
Uh, will be going to be late. Be late. San.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, hello, San. Lucy.
I'm here.
Okay, hi, Lucy. Sally.
Yes, I'm here.
John.
She is late.
Late.
Yes.
He's late. Okay. Linda.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Linda. Jane.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Jane.
Yes.
Nice meeting you, Jane.
Yes. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. This is the first time we met, right? Because the last Friday you are absent. So nice meeting you.
Yes. I'm sorry, teacher. Last.
That is
Yes.
that's okay.
Yes. Last week I was sick. Yes.
Ah, okay. So. Are you okay now?
Yes, I'm okay now.
Um, that's good to hear. So Maria is no longer here in this class. Right?
Yes.
So how's your New Year? Did you celebrate your New Year? How's your New Year?
Yeah. It's like it's great.
How about Moon? How about Moon?
Um, I think this year my media is as it is normal as the other years. Um, I I went out with my family. I went out with my family. I went to a brand shop to buy,
Shop?
yes, to buy some clothes because they have special sale of,
Ah, okay. They have fashion show.
yes,
Your children?
for me and for my children.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Thank you. So how about you? How about Rosie? How's your New Year, Rosie?
Rosie,
Rosie.
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 Yes, but it is very great because all my relatives came to our house and we celebrated a party. A party.
You okay? How about Linda? No, Jane.
Yes. My New Year was very great. I had a small party with my old friend. Yes, we were very happy. Yes,
Okay. So it seems like your New Year is very good, right?
yes,
Okay, so good to hear that. So happy New Year, everyone.
yes. Happy New Year, teacher.
I'm sorry, I'm late.
Okay. So how's your New Year, John? How's your New Year?
Happy New Year, John.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
What did you do in your New Year?
Uh, the new year, when I go to the Prince City with my wife and my children.
Okay.
We are buy some anything for my family.
Okay. Okay. So, uh, let me ask you: are you all English teachers?
Yes,
Okay. Okay. So, hello. That's Anna, right?
yes. Yes. Sorry, I'm late.
Okay, that's okay. So, okay. So, what did we talk last? Friday? We talk about what? San, what did we do last Friday? What did we do last Friday?
Yes. Last week we learned about teaching, learning, listening to secondary students.
Okay, so we talked about teaching strategies in listening to secondary students, right?
Yes.
Okay, so do you remember those strategies? Can you give me one? Linda? What are those teaching strategies that we had discussed last meeting? Can you give me one?
Yeah. Um, get to know the student.
Okay, get to know your students. What else? San.
Yes. One of the yes strategies is talk less.
Okay, talk less. Okay, very good. How about John?
I think in the listening to parents, students, uh, um, listening for question,
Listening.
for question.
Okay, very good. Listening to four questions. Listening for questions. Okay, so I hope we don't forget those strategies that we had tackled. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so this afternoon we will have another lesson to be discussed. Okay, so since we're done with the teaching listening for secondary students, now we will have the tips on how to be a good listener. Okay? Okay, so here are some lists here in on tips on how to be a good listener. Do you see it?
Yes.
Did you see it? Okay. So the first is, can you please read, Sally, the first tips?
Okay, teacher. The first tip to be a good listener is an effective classroom leader. Our listener is not only a knowledgeable and skilled teacher, he or she is a good active listener.
Okay, so what do you mean by an effective classroom leader or lecturer is not only a knowledgeable and skilled teacher, he or she is a good active listener. What do you mean by that?
Let me
What do you mean by that?
teacher with me some.
Can you explain this sentences. Good listening skills are needed to develop empathy and understanding with the students and to assess whether they understand what they are being taught. What do you mean by this one? Can you explain more further to these sentences? What do you mean by that? Okay, who wants to help Miss Sally? Sally, right? Is that Sally? Who wants to help Sally? How about John? Can you help me, Sally? Can you help me, Sally, to explain it more in the class so that we can understand? Hello. Okay. How about Moon? Can you help the Moon?
I think it is a difficult question, but
It's
in my opinion,
okay. Okay. Go on.
yes, an effective leader or lecturer is not only a knowledgeable and skilled teacher. It means that um, he, must, he or she must be good at listening skill, and besides, he or she must be a good active listener. For example, he must understand what his student want or need, and
Oh,
you should listen to the student to understand them and to encourage them to take part in the activities so that listening activity will be more effective. It's my opinion.
okay. Very good. So very good, Moon. So in tip number one, it says that an effective classroom leader or lecturer is not only a knowledgeable and skilled teacher, he or she is a good active listener. So as what Miss Moon said, that as a teacher, we should be a good listener to our students. We should feel what our students feel so that we can understand the side or what they want to uh, what they want to tell us.
Yes,
So we should be a good listener and we should put ourselves to their shoes so that they can understand we can understand each other,
yes,
right?
yes,
Okay, so because they said that an effective classroom leader or lecturer is not only knowledgeable and skilled teacher. So for example, you're a good for example, you're a knowledgeable and skilled teacher, but that doesn't mean that you're a good listener.
yes,
Okay?
that's right.
So it should be we should be more attentive to our students on what they want us what they want uh, what they want from us. Okay,
Yes.
very good. Okay, so that is tip number one. How about tip number two? Can I have Miss Jane,
Yes. Listening.
can you please read and explain it in the class? Okay, go.
Yes. Um, the tips for number two is listening is a two-way process. You, as a teacher, do most talking, but you must also learn to listen to students. The students spend a lot of time listening to you and will also benefit from improved listening skills. Um, I think this tip is also difficult question to explain, difficult sentence to explain. And I think um, in this tip, the teacher must think what's the best way to help students develop their listening skill. For example, when the student, when the teacher have difficult test, uh, the teacher must have a plan of other activity to help students listening the task. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, thank you, Miss Jane. Okay, so in tips number two is listening is a two-way process. You, as the teacher, do most of the talking, but you must learn to listen to the students. The students spend a lot of time listening to you, right? That's correct. And will also benefit from improved listening skills. Okay, so here, both teacher and student must learn to respect each other, while students must comprehend that teachers are not the fountain of all the knowledge. What do you mean by the teachers are not the fountain of all the knowledge? What do you mean by that?
I think that it means the teachers uh, didn't know, don't know everything.
Yes, that's correct.
Don't know.
We as a teacher, even if we are a teacher, we don't know everything, right?
Yes.
But there are some students. Have you experienced this one? There are some students who cannot say, "A teacher, what do you mean by this one?" And the teacher cannot answer that one because maybe she or he forgot. But then the student will say, "Oh my gosh, my teacher is not good. She's not very good."
Yes.
But as what they said here, teachers are not the fountain of all knowledge because we also are humans. We commit mistakes, right? Because nobody is perfect, right?
Yes.
So then students must develop their educational plan, which involves searching for and finding solutions to their everyday problems or queries. Okay, so in these tips, as a teacher, and as a student, we should have a respect to each other so that we can understand each other and we can give more learnings to them as a teacher because sometimes we can get information also from the students. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that is tips number two. Okay, thank you, Miss Jane. How about let's go to letter B. Tips on how to be a good listening teacher. Okay, so let's have number one. Can you please read Miss Rosie and can you please explain it?
Yes. Be attentive, alert, and not easily distracted. Critic mercy, positive, emotional development, verbal behavior, your body language, and facial expressions.
Facial. Okay. What do you mean by be attentive, alert, and not easily distracted? Create a positive atmosphere with your nonverbal behavior, like your body language and facial expressions. What do you mean by that?
In my opinion,
Okay.
teachers should creative, both
Creative.
students, teacher can use body language or facial expression to um, to make students can understand the teachers can understand the teacher's ideas. Students can listen to the teacher by look at their body language and still can concentrate the lesson.
Okay, so as a teacher, we should be more creative so that our student, I mean, have more interest in our discussion, right? Because if the teacher is very boring, then the students have no interest of in the discussion. Am I correct? Okay, so we should be, as a teacher, we should be attentive and we should be focused on our discussion or in our, if we discuss something to our student, we should not be easily distracted. And sometimes our body language and facial expressions can be used in teaching, right? Okay, any other idea about this one? None? None. Did you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Did you understand? I can only hear one yes. Again, did you understand?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Tell me if there is something you cannot understand, okay? Just tell me. You are allowed to ask questions, okay? Okay? Okay, so let's proceed.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go to the second tips on how to be a good listening teacher. John, just read first, then explain.
think a good teacher, a good listening teacher must be interested in the student needs.
Okay, what do you mean by that? Can you give an explanation or an example about this one?
Yeah. I think the teacher the teacher must to this student interested something they for example they think about the land or the
Okay, so thank you, Mr. John. So as a teacher, we should be interested in the students' needs. So if the students have questions, for example, we should answer the questions correctly, right? We should give them the correct answer if they want to hear good if they want to know what that means or what the meaning of this one, so we should not ignore them. Okay. Okay, so next let's go to listen in a friendly way. What do you mean by listen in a friendly way, Sally? Ano, San?
Yes.
What do you mean by listen in a friendly way?
Intensive is listen in a friendly way. It means that um, um, teachers should listen their students friendly to make a sense of safe and trust for students, and they can share their ideas more comfortable.
Okay, so very good, Miss San. So listen a friendly way, as what Miss San said, that we should listen to our students in a friendly way. So it means we should be, as a teacher, we should be approachable. Okay, so that our students will not be afraid of us asking what what's the meaning of this one, because there are some there are some teachers that, as you can see her or him, he or she is very strict or not approachable, so the students will be afraid in asking questions,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So as a teacher, we should be approachable to our students.
yes.
Okay, so next questions. Do you have questions? Do you have questions before moving on to the next?
No question.
None. Okay.
Yes.
Let's go to be non judgmental and do not criticize. What do you mean by this one? Anna.
Well, well, I think this sentence means that teachers shouldn't criticize the student. He or she must be express his or her friendliness to students to to make them know that he or she always always be friendly to him or to her, and he or she always have a chance um, for students to answer all the questions, their all the questions. Okay, so
Oh,
yes, and I think the teacher should be a friend, should be a friend, not 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 educator, a friend in a friendly way, so that student can answer the questions easily. Yes,
okay. So as a teacher, we should be a friend to our students. As what Miss Anna said, we should be a friend to our students,
yes,
because as for that, the students will be comfortable
yes,
to ask questions to us, and we should not judge our students or criticize them. For example, you have a student uh, the black American. This is for example, okay. Okay, let's have this: a poor student and a rich student. Then the poor student asks questions to the teacher. Then also the rich student also asks questions to the teacher. But because the teacher is so judgmental, or he want to criticize others, so he did not entertain the poor student. He goes to the rich student. So as a teacher, we should not be like that. Okay, we should be fair. Okay,
Yes.
we should not judge our students, or we should not criticize them. Because as what Miss Anna said, we should be a friend to our students. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Next, let's go to act like a mirror, reflect what you think is being felt and said. Okay, can you explain this, Miss Moon?
What? Nice. Respect privacy. Do you want me to talk about that?
Okay, I'm sorry. Respect privacy. Do not ask intrusive or complicated questions.
Yes. This for me. Um, I think respect privacy means that as a teacher, we should um, we should not ask in- intrusive or complicated questions about their personal life. Maybe students have something they don't want to share with us, so we must respect them. And as school, we should talk about the lesson, talk about their friends. I think if students want to share with us about their friends, their families, or something like that, so we should be ready to share. But if students don't want to share, don't want to talk about friends or talk about their secret, so we shouldn't ask the question about that. That's my
Okay, very good. Very good, Moon. So that's correct. If as a teacher, if the student uh, is uh, is suffering from this one, for example, suffering from a situation, we should not ask her. Let her, as what you said, let's wait. Let's wait for her or him, for her to share what's her story.
yes,
So let's wait for that time. We uh we should not ask personal questions to her or to him, because maybe they don't want to they don't want, or they don't want someone or anybody talk about their situation, because maybe they're shy, or maybe they're afraid. So we should not let them uh, ask complicated questions, or ask personal questions. Okay.
yes,
Okay, so I have a student like that. When I am teaching in public, I have a student. Uh, sh- I let he. I asked them to write a. I asked them to write a unforgettable moment. Then, as I read her composition, I read that she was raped. Then at that time, I called her outside. Then at that time, I asked her, "Is that true?" Then she said yes. So, okay, I will not ask you any more questions. If you don't want to share, then that's okay for me. But if you want someone to talk about it, then you can call me. Then after a while, she cried. She cried, and I hugged her because uh, I pitied her because of the thing happened to her. So at that time, I give her encouragement to get along with her life and have a and have a caution, or so that so that she will not she will not she will not have the same situation again. So as a teacher, we should let our student share their stories on their own, on their free will. Okay? Okay. So next, let's go to act like a mirror. Reflect what you think is being felt and said. What do you mean by this, Sally?
Okay, as a teacher, I think we should as like a mirror reflect what you think is fair and said. It means that teacher should live in a friendly way, and for students, they always look at the teacher, and teacher should do everything maybe perfect for them to follow.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Sally. So act like a mirror. Reflect what you think is being felt and said. Okay. If you okay, for example, for this, if you set a rule in your class, then you must stand with that rule. For example, turn off your phone uh, during class hours. So at that time, as a teacher, you should stand with that rule that all the students must turn off their phone during class hour. We should reflect on what we have said to our students so that they will have respect to us. Okay? Okay, so next, let's go to show that you are in no hurry. Remember that silences throughout teaching are good, as they give students opportunities to think and reflect on questions and topics in their mind before verbally giving an answer. So, what do you mean by that? Lucy.
Yes. I think, in my opinion, I think that when we were student some test or some uh, source listening, we need by standing to the student time, limit the time to student, and I think the teacher should give a student opportunities to think about the lesson they will learn in in this in the in this in this morning or afternoon in this lesson. So I think students should focus on absorbing everything the teacher say to students, and reflect on question and topic in their mind before giving the answer in front of the class.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Miss Lucy. Okay, so as a teacher, if we give an activities to our student, we should give give them time so that they can express what they want to write or what they want to tell. Do not hurry them. We should give them opportunities to express what they want to tell. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So now let's go to don't brush aside the person's feeling with phrases like it's not that bad or you're making a mountain out of a molehill. What do you mean by that? Let's have John. John, what do you mean by this one? Don't brush aside the person's feeling with phrases like, it's not that bad, or you're making a mountain out of a molehill. Yes. Yes, Mr. John? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
A good listening teacher don't be don't be don't be aside the person you express like it's not that bad for uh, you are making a mountain out of right hill. Uh,
Yes, what do you mean by this one? Okay, I will go back to you, Mr. John. You will explain the last tips, okay? So, how about can you help
like
Mr. John, Miss Linda?
basically.
Linda, I will ask you later, Mr. John, about the last, okay? Let's have first the don't brush aside the person's feelings with phrases like, it's not that bad, or you're making a mountain out of a molehill. What do you mean by this one, Linda? Pardon?
Teacher.
Yes.
It's very noisy.
Again.
It's noisy beside you.
I can't hear. Wait. Again.
It's very noisy beside you. Noisy. We can hear some
What?
noise. We can hear some noise from
Ah.
this.
Diane. We can hear some noise. Okay, sorry for that one. Okay, continue.
Yes.
Linda.
I think we should listen to those student problem and give some encouragement. And whenever they talk to you about no problem. Yes,
That's all?
that's all.
Okay. I am looking for, okay. Okay, so as what you said, uh, instead of saying it's not that bad or you're making a mountain out of a molehill, we should give them encouragement, words of encouragement, right? So we should not let them feel that uh, their story is out of the lesson or out of the topic. So instead of saying it's not that bad, so we should give them a words of encouragement so that they will be encouraged and they will be more interested. Okay, very good. So now let's have the last: never belittle or negate any aspects of a problem, even if it seems unimportant to you. To a student, it may be crucial to their learning. Yes, John? This is for you, John. It's your time to shine. What do you mean by this one? Never belittle or negate any aspects of problem.
I think to be a good listening teacher, we are never did never belittle or negates any aspect of program because we are should be related about related about the way to introduce the lesson. Uh,
Okay, that's all.
that,
That's all.
that's all.
Okay, so never belittle or negate any aspects of a problem. So as a teacher, we should really listen to our student. We should not treat our student as if they tell something for you it is not important, for us teacher it is not important, but for them it is very serious. So we should listen to them even if for us it is not important at all, but maybe for them it is very serious problem. So we should not ignore them, okay? We should listen to them, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Next. Okay. Don't get emotionally involved, angry, upset, or argumentative. You need to remain professional in your interaction with students, as you are a role model and the students are looking up to you for guidance and direction. Okay, so what do you mean by this one? Let's have Rosie.
Yes. I think that teacher teacher should be calm in any place because teacher should be a professional teacher. So student can respect teacher because everything has a solution. If
Okay,
yeah, if teacher
yes,
yeah,
continue.
teacher angry or upset, teacher should be keep calm and give a the guidance or direction for student to listen. And student can look at the teacher and respect the teacher.
Okay, done.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so don't get emotionally involved, angry, upset, or argumentative. Okay, so the best example here are, for example, the the story that I told you a while ago. The student, my student that which is raped by her, which is raped by her grandfather. So I know uncle. So in this time, so for us, if we hear this kind of stories, of course we will be angry, right? If you hear that kind of stories, what will you do? What will you do if you will hear something, a situation like that? What will you do?
We should keep calm in this
Okay, very good. We should be calm. We should refrain ourselves because for the students, we are the role model of our students. They are looking up on us. So we should be a good examples to our students. Okay?
yes.
Okay. So next, let's go to don't jump to conclusions or judgments about any students. What do you mean by this one? Uh, Moon.
Yes. Um, don't jump to conclusion or judgment about any students. Yes, I think that we shouldn't have any conclusion about any student at the very first time. We should pay attention to him or her. We should take notice of her for a long time, so that it is enough for us to give any conclusions. Because at the very first time we give any conclusion, it is not correct. Maybe at their position, at their present level, what he does is good. Yes, we should depend on the level of the student so that we can give conclusion. I had a story about a student. He said that um, at first his English was not very good, but his teacher asked him to make a speech in front of class, only a few sentences. very short, and he tried his best to make the speech, and he told us in his speech there are a few mistakes, but his teacher didn't talk about didn't talk anything about the mistake. He only talked about the bad things. So student feel that he is encouraged by the teacher, and he made a lot of progress day by day because teacher don't talk about his mistake. He only talk about his good things. So he was very happy, and he made a lot of progress day by day. So it is good. So teacher shouldn't talk about the students' weak points. We should encourage students and don't give any judgment, especially at the very first time. It's my point.
Okay, very good, very well said, Moon. Okay, so as what Moon said, that we should not jump to a conclusion, especially at the very first time we met our student. So as what she said, that maybe the student. Okay, so let's continue. So as what Miss Moon said, that we should we should not count the weakness points of the students, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Very well said, Miss Wu. Thank you. Okay, so let's go to the last. Try not to have any preconceived ideas or notions about any student based on what you may have heard from another colleague or former teacher. What do you mean by this one? Lucy, what do you mean by this one?
Um, it's difficult to explain. So, in my opinion, I think when you make a notion about some student, you don't care about the idea from another college or another partner because it maybe gets some good information or maybe gets bad information. So we don't take care of this information from it. So I think should understand to the process of student, the whole process of learning of student. We make a notion uh, from student. Yes,
Oh, okay, very good. So, as a teacher, we should not listen to what our colleagues or partners said to that students because maybe that student is have a situation that's why he is acting like that in your class, but in other in other in other teacher, maybe they have a good relationship with the teacher and the student, so we should not listen to what our uh, others opinion, if that is bad. Okay, if that is bad, if that's not okay. Okay, so any questions?
none.
None. Okay, none. Okay, so let's go to, since you don't have questions, let's go to types of listening activities. Okay, so this time, how many is this one? Five, nine. So you're also nine, right? Two, four, six, eight, nine. Okay, so I will assign you to each listening activities. Okay, for Rosie, you'll be you'll be number one, Moon number two, Anna number three, San number four, Lucy number five, Sally number six, John number seven, Linda number eight, and nine is Jane. Okay, I will give you time to study. Then later on, you will explain it in front. Okay? Excuse me for a moment.
Mga gwapa mong baby. Mga feeling or ba? Char. So, kamu dahil ginaunahan. Kamu dahil mo ko ano, kamu mo tawag na. Pag New Year yun, pag 12 yun, ako 12 yun yun. Hanggang 12 midnight.
Are you done? Who's not yet finished? Raise your hand. Okay, another 2 minutes.
5 minutes.
Five. You have lots of examples. I think you have more. You have long explanation to this one.
I took a shower. Now I'm okay.
Oh, so you're ready? Okay, that's good to hear. How many percent? 100%? You're 100% ready? Okay, so let's start with Rosie. Ladies and gentlemen, Rosie.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I will talk you about keeping mind listening is
Okay,
free.
can you please stand up so that they can see your beautiful face?
Hello everyone, today I will have to tell you about keeping mind listening is free. We know that listen is one of the most important skills you can do for someone you love. And if you listen to your friends or your students, you will be felt respect and they will share their ideas with you. It's like a business. Your relationship with your friends or students will be deeper. You and your friends or your students can understand each other. If you always listen to your friends when they talk, you will get the same feedback and again. So it's very important to always listen because always listen, always understand.
Oh, it's not good.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Rosie. Okay, so Rosie discussed in mind listening is a win-win. Okay, so the better you listen, the better they will listen to you. So it's a win-win situation. And the better and the deeper the relationship will be. So if you focus on understanding him or her and on giving value based on that, then you'll get the same thing back. Okay, so if we really listen to our students very well, then it's a win-win situation because we can get information from them and we can give information to them, right? Then so that is the value based on that, then you'll get the same thing back. We can get information to them, we can give information to them, then we can also get information from them. Okay, very good, Miss Rosie. Okay, next, Moon. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Moon.
Excellent. Okay, I'm ready. you should focus on the conversation, focus on your talking word by word, so that you can understand exactly the content, and then you can retell it to somebody. Because if you don't care about the conversation, or if you don't listen attentively, you can't tell it to somebody else. And also, you can make some questions if you don't understand something. So, to be a good listener, the best way to remember something better is to know that you are going to tell what you have learned to someone else. That's my idea.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Moon. Okay. So tell yourself that you'll tell someone else about this conversation later on. So it means that to be a good listener, the ways to remember something better is to know that you are going to tell what you learned to someone else. Then you'll be more alert. It'll be natural to start asking more questions to understand, and what is said simply seems to stick better. Okay, so as what Miss Moon said, if you don't listen attentively, you can't formulate questions because you never listen to her. So you cannot ask him or her a questions.
Yes.
And at that time, the speaker seems to be disappointed to you because you didn't listen to her or him.
Yes.
So, as a listener, to be a good listener, we should be more attentive to the speaker so that if we have some questions in our mind, if we want more information about something, then we can ask questions because you really listen to the speaker. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, very good, Miss Moon. Next, keep the eye contact. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Anna.
Yes. Hi everybody. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to be a good listener. I think one of the most crucial way to make conversation successful is keeping eye contact. I mean that keeping eye contact is focusing your gaze on other person's eyes, so that the listener will know you are listening to them. He or she will know you always respect
In airplane,
the
when we
speaker.
fly, we
And
that too.
I think um,
I know your friend.
and I think
No, it's
mm,
just
when you are in a conversation, you shouldn't
went
you
to
shouldn't look
but
at everywhere. Should be concentrated
it's really very long.
on the speaker, and that's my opinion.
Okay, thank you, Miss Anna. Okay, very good. So, another listening technique, listening types of listening activity is to keep the eye contact. Looking everywhere except at the person talking can make it seem like you are not listening, and then the conversation suffers. So, keep the eye contact. Focus your gaze at just one of the other person's eye at a time or at time. Okay, so this is very important. If someone is talking, we should make an eye contact to that speaker so that they can really feel that you're really you can the speaker will really feel that you really listen to her or him, because that is a very important thing. So we should not let our eyes go anywhere, just focus on the speaker, so that the speaker also have will be more active in, or be more active in giving informations to us. Okay, so keep the eye contact. Okay, very good, Miss Anna. Now let's go to number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, Sun.
Hello everybody. Today I'm going to talk about some types of listening activities, and one of them is keep that smartphone away. Using the smartphone or browsing the internet on your phone or your computer while listening is not good. It might the listener will not be a listener to and not respond. Maybe just missing some part of the conversation, so you can understand what happened and you can share your thoughts, opinions, or your questions. But the conversation is interrupted. Put that down while listening if you want to check something and take a part of the conversation.
Okay, thank you, Miss An. So keep that smartphone away. Browsing the internet on your phone or your computer while trying to listen usually leads to missing some parts of the conversations, and to the person talking feeling like he or she is not listened to. So put that phone down while listening if you don't need it to check something or write something down as a part of the conversation. Okay, so we should not use, or we should keep that smartphone away from us if we want to listen to someone talking, because at that time, well, for example, the for example, teacher and student, the teacher keeps on talking about the topic, explaining it to the student, giving her best so that the teacher or the student will really understand. But the problem is the students don't understand what the teacher is talking about, because she or he is busy using a cell phone. So at that time, the student will not learn, right? So as the as listener, we should avoid using phones or internet while listening to the speaker. We should be focused on that speaker, so that, as what here in number 3, I know in number 2, we can ask questions about something, or we can ask information about something. Okay? Okay, very good, Miss Sun. So number 5, let's go to Lucy.
Hello everyone. I'm very happy to talk about the topic summarize what water says. Uh, In my opinion, when the student says teachers should take a few seconds to confuse, it means that before we move another lesson, we should pause and summarize what was said. When we measure summarize aloud, the other person can adjust your understanding your knowledge, and you must find another way to conclusion. When the when you finish listening at this, you should conclude the whole lesson and take time to do this activity frequently. I think it's difficult to explain more. So I'll stop here. Thank you for your listening.
Okay, thank you. So, thank you, Miss Lucy. To summarize what was said, so as what Miss Lucy said, as a teacher, before we move to another lesson, especially when we are teaching, we should summarize the lesson. Because sometimes if we were asked, okay, did you understand? Then the student will say, yes, teacher, we understand. Really? You understand? Yes. But later on, they don't understand. So, uh, for it to be more realistic, we should summarize our lesson, or we can ask them questions if they really understand the lesson before moving on to another topic. Okay, very good, Miss Lucy. Okay, next, let's go to Sally.
Okay, I'm going to talk about some art instead of trying to marriage. Okay, teacher, I think that acting is very important than trying to marriage. And reading a cinema is quite difficult. And I think that teachers should in the class ask relevant and qualifying questions demonstrate to the listener that you will be paying attention. And besides that, teachers should be patient and willing to listen without any advice. And let students just answer yes or no question. Don't force anyone to open up immediately to you at the method. And is this that little let the other person can answer or get no? And it is very difficult, so I can answer here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Miss Sally. Okay, so ask instead of trying to mind read. Okay, so as a teacher, we should be more observant. Okay, because there are some students that you can see them that they are for you they are really listening to you, but the reality is that they are physically present but mentally absent. So, at that time, you can ask questions to your students. You can instead of saying, okay, my students really understand because they really listen well. But the reality is that they listen. The all the eyes are in you because they are afraid of you, but they don't understand what you are talking about. So, as a teacher, we should ask our students if, okay, for example, okay, any questions? Then the student will say, none. Then at that time, you can reinforce them. So, okay, if you don't have question, then I will ask you. At that time, the students will really listen to you because they are afraid that they might be cold. So at that time, is uh, their listening skill is now on. So do not mind read. Just ask if you don't understand, as well as the student, because some student, even if they don't understand, they will just say yes, I understand that one. But if you ask her, she cannot answer you. So be sure that your students really understand you. Okay? Okay, so thank you, Miss Sally. Now let's go to John.
Yeah,
One of the girls, John.
yeah. Hello, everybody. Today I want to say about get some fresh air and of exercise. I think that some good thing, some I think that after working day we have a um, few things is let us so as go along vacation. As tired or um, what's it next? Because that keep engineer and method with place is up to open a window or take a walk out or just got some exercise and some fresh air. I think exercise regularly a bit more intensely a few times a week. Also, make it easier to review. Uh, easier to be there when you want to eat or listen or do something. Thanks for listening.
Okay, thank you, Mr. John. Okay, so get some fresh air and or exercise. So, uh, this is also good because sometimes we are bombarded of very many things to do, and sometimes our brain cannot, because of that our brain is very tired, and as well as our body is tired. So at that time uh, we don't have the capability or the ability to listen very well. So this time you need some fresh air and or sometimes do exercise. So this is also a part of being a good listener. Okay, so also, do you know the power of five? Do you know the power of five? Okay, I have an example. The power of five. For example, because of the as a teacher we are very busy, right? Because we have many classes to attend, then sometimes have meeting, many paperwork, then so we are tired, as well as our brain is not uh, it's not acting normally. So sometimes if we go to our house, if we went home, for example, if we have a children, then our children is very naughty or like that, then they have some situation, but because of that situation you feel angry. You feel angry because maybe because you are tired, so it makes you feel angry. So as you hear that situation, to act normally, you should breathe, then count 1 to 5, 1 2 3 4 5, then talk again, then anything will be in in back to normal. So that is a power of 5. I'm just sharing you the power of 5. So I hope it helps. Okay, so get some fresh air and do some exercise. Okay, thank you, Mr. John. So now let's go to number 8, second to the last. Let's welcome Linda.
Everybody, today I'm talking about economics about our current limitations. In my opinion, solving difficulty with a person is me. Still need some advice from her or him. I will help you solve this problem more perfectly, or sometimes it can make your mind more comfortable for me. When I have some trouble, I usually share with my close friend. She can help me or give me some advice to solve the problem. So be honest about the limitation. Either better for both of you and help you can understand and more sympathetic each other. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Linda. Okay, very good. Okay, that's true. Sometimes if sometimes if we are hungry, we cannot focus on what others says, right? Did you experience that one? If you feel hungry, then you cannot understand what other are talking about. So at this time, if you have encountered a talkative person, he loves or she loves to talk, then as a friend, for example, as a friend, you give respect to that person, so you will listen to her or him. So, but there are times that as a because of the long conversation, you feel hungry, you feel bored, you feel tired. So be honest about that one, because it is also important, because even if you're listening to her or him attentively, but you cannot understand what he or she is talking about because you're hungry or you feel tired, so you should be honest to that person so that he can also adjust, uh, he can also give you time to process what are the things he is talking about. So be honest about your current limitations, because not every one of us really love to hear others' opinion or others converse or do conversation long, right? So we should be honest about our current limitations. Okay, so thank you, Miss Linda. Now let's go to the last but not the least, Jane.
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm very happy because I'm the last person to talk about the topic. Yes.
Why?
Yes. My topic about says what you have done in similar situation. We all know that sharing is really important not only in the teaching but also in the learning, especially listening activity. Sharing what you have done well is the best. I think it is the best way to get knowledge to solve the difficult problem instead of random advice or opinion. And And I think it just make us more just make more confident in every situation, especially when asked for advice while listening, or not when other person just need to vent and getting out. That's my opinion. Thank you for your listening.
Okay, thank you. Very well said, Miss Jane. Okay, share what you have done in a similar situation. When asked for advice, while listening or when it seems appropriate, not when the other person just needs to vent and get things out. Share what you have done in the same situation or a similar one and what worked well for you. That gives a lot more weight to your input than just random advice or opinions about what you think could work. So as a listener, we should if you have if you have encountered the same situation or similar situation to her or him, you can also share to her or him. At that time, at that point, the speaker or the speaker are uh, will be happy because, oh, I have similar situation and I can ask advice for her, or I can ask about what will I do. Okay, so do not say anything that is you did not encounter, but because uh, you say that because he is in that situation. So for him to really feel comfortable, you will say something like this, even if you don't encounter that kind of situation. So do not say that one. Okay, so if you have similar thing or similar situation about her or him, so you can tell her. Then at that time, you can exchange advices, you can exchange information, and you can learn about something. So share what you have done in a similar situation. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you everyone. You really did a good job today. Okay, so do you have any questions?
Teacher, next lesson,
Yes.
we
Yes.
have a test, speaking test
A
or listening test.
speaking test.
Speaking or
You will do the speaking. You will do the speaking test today.
no, next lesson. Next lesson on
Next
Friday.
lesson
On Friday.
on Friday. Yeah, we will have a listening test on Friday.
Yeah.
So be ready on Friday. Okay, do you have any questions, clarifications, additional ideas?
Can you tell me what is the test? What is the listening test? What can we do? And
What is?
we listen right out or we do on the paper.
You want to listen to the test?
No. What about
Okay, again.
we want to know some information about the night test.
About
The night test. What test? What is the
what test?
deadline? Can you
What test all about?
yes. Can you tell
Uh,
something?
you just listen to some conversation. It will be played, and it will be played once. So all you have to do is to listen very carefully. Then the teacher will no longer help you at this one.
Yes.
You will just focus on listening so that you can answer the questions that are given to you.
Yes. Teacher, one by one or how to run? One by one.
Uh, no, it's all of you.
All of you. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It means that after we listen to the conversation, the teacher will make question to us.
No, there is a I will not ask you questions. All you have to do is listen to the conversation, because in that conversation, the questions and the answers are all found in the audio.
We do in the paper. We write the answer
Oh,
in the paper.
it's okay because I will give you time to write what before listening. I will let you write the things, because there are some tasks that you are required to complete the data or complete the file, just like that. It's very easy.
Yes.
I know you can do it because you're very good.
We hope we have a good mark.
Pardon? Again?
We hope this test we have a good mark.
Yes, of course. I'm sure that all of you will get good marks because it is very easy.
Teacher,
It is very easy.
where is my old teacher? Miss
Again, pardon.
Where is Miss Irene?
Where is Miss Irene? Miss Irene is in R&D.
What?
She's doing some she's making a lesson plan.
Yes.
Yeah, but I am also doing lesson plan, but I want to teach you, so that's why I accept this job. Yeah, we're in the same department. We are making lesson plans in R&D,
Yes.
because she said she wants to focus on on one on one job, so she wants to be in one place. She wants to focus on making lesson plans. That's why.
Yes.
But don't worry, I will tell them. I will tell her that you're looking for her. I will send your regards to her. Okay, so I hope you really understand what I am talking now today, and I hope you get some information in my discussion, and I hope you will use it while you are teaching. And thank you also for sharing your information, for sharing your ideas.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, so I will see you on Friday.
Yes.
Tambiet.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.